in future a neutral network. It can't be dominated by any single commercial or government interest, and that personal privacy over the internet must be protected.
It's a non-issue. What companies are interested in doing is stuffing ads in your face, not keeping you from seeing things. Anything you want to see, that's fine. They'll just put an ad on their page. That's the way America works.
But it's not only the internet where you can be tracked.
10 years ago it was conventional wiretapping. It was the use of databases connected to identity cards. These days it tends to be far more integrated technologies.
Every time you use a mobile phone, send an email, use a cash or credit card, or even enter a building with an electronic pass, you leave traces. As with the internet, that information can be stored and used against you at a later date.
Well, big brother, big sister, anybody who wants to dig all those records of the videotapes you rented back in, in the early 90s when you were having a bachelor party, you run for president 20, 30 years later, someone digs that up and, there it is.
Now, effectively, what is going to happen is the government will have fairly significantly increased powers to hook into the network, and having hooked into the network can interpret virtually everything you put through, whether it's internet communications, voice communications, whatever.
Recently, the FBI was forced to go public about its interception system, Carnivore. The system analyzes and digests the contents of tens of thousands of American emails and phone calls from public and private domains. In the year 2000, the British government made it legal for security services and private companies to intercept communications in much the same way.
We have asked the authorities time and time again, the world over, to quantify their claim that they need these new powers. And no matter which agency we go to, we are confronted with the same response, which is, this is a state secret. We can't tell you what we know. Take us on trust, we need these powers.
The Home Office denies there is anything sinister in the new law. It says that due to the significant rise in cybercrime, the government needs new powers to be one step ahead of cybercriminals. But of course, the law allows surveillance of innocent citizens as well.
Have you ever had a sneaking feeling that Big Brother may be spying on you at work? You may be right, it can happen. The 1 o'clock news has found evidence of firms using hidden cameras to secretly monitor their staff.
According to a recent study by the American Management Association, 3/4 of the USA's largest corporations check on their employees. Together with CCTV, they monitor emails, the net surfing habits of employees, and even telephone conversations.
The public isn't aware of these covert methods of surveillance. Certainly when you discuss the issues with a group of people, and you can actually get through the nothing to hide, nothing to fear defense, people start to worry.
And employees generally do not think about the fact that the company has every right to monitor their private emails. I don't like that, but if I were employed at a company, I would definitely want to have a separate email address for my private emails, because who knows who doesn't like you 20 years from now, and this stuff is saved forever.
Inappropriate use of email, telephone and the internet costs each medium-sized company £1 million a year. Little wonder employers feel justified in keeping tabs on their workers.
If all the people in your company are connected to the web, in the same way that people are connected to the telephone, this service is likely to be abused. And report after report and survey after survey has come out showing that company use of the internet in an unauthorized manner is starting to increase, and that is also a waste of productivity.
In 1948, George Orwell wrote a foreboding portrait of the future. There was no way of knowing whether you were being watched, and you had to live with the assumption that every sound was heard and every movement scrutinized. So, 50 years later, has his vision finally come true? Conspiracy theorists think so. But instead of one big brother, a network of large corporations play the same all-seeing role. The power doesn't lie in the technology, it's what these corporations do with it.
If there's a conspiracy, then it's a conspiracy to give consumers technology for free that they used to have to pay a lot of money for.
We're selling technology in the United States much the same way we're selling cigarettes, underarm deodorants, and toothpaste. We're building people's confidence on it because it's merchandisable.
The software is getting cheaper and cheaper if you consider all the features you're getting. I mean, clearly, what's the conspiracy and who's it hurting?
As we become more and more dependent upon technology, they will make us more and more dependent.
Now, as we give more of ourselves over to these technologies, we create a digital persona. That digital persona may as well be public because of the sheer number of agencies which have access to them.
Whatever sounds to a member of the public as science fiction, it is not science fiction. A lot of it could be sheer reality.
The notion that eventually we'll end up in a situation where there is such a degree of control over our individual liberties is one that should be taken seriously, because the technology is moving in the direction where it would become possible that this could actually become reality.
It's no longer just in the street, on station platforms, or at work where we're being watched. It's now sitting in the corner of our living rooms. As technologies converge to the same black box, who is now watching who?